Hello everyone, JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City transfer update. Yes, we are back. And if you've been wondering where I was, well, make sure you stay tuned to JSGC Vlogs, because I've been away for the last week doing other things. So stay tuned to that, go and check it out, either at the end of the video, or you can go and find link in description below, and I'll be posting up some stuff over the next few weeks for that. But in the meantime, we're going to be cracking on with this Manchester City transfer update with plenty of ins and outs whilst I've been away for the last week or so. So we're going to crack on with the video in a moment. Try to say first though, like always, if you enjoy this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up. If you do enjoy this video, you can subscribe, press the red button, and press the bell and put your push notifications on if you're interested in all things Manchester City transfer updates throughout all of the summer 2019 transfer window. Make sure you go and check out my social media links, which you can find in description below and popping up on screen for my Twitter and Instagram. And also make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below, because I'm always interested in your opinion. So we're going to crack on with this video and start with the ins, and we're going to be talking about a player called Liam Delap. Now, he posted on Instagram that he has now signed for Manchester City. He is, of course, the son of former Stoke long throw specialist Rory Delap. He's going to go into the Manchester City Academy, so welcome Liam to Manchester City. Now, we've got an update on Joao Cancelo of Juventus. Now, news was coming in from Sky Sport over in Italy that Manchester City have apparently cooled their interest in Cancelo, with Juventus not budging on their €60 million valuation of the player, and also Danilo seemingly not moving. Now, other sources were suggesting that Cancelo was mentally preparing himself to stay in Italy, but other sources in Italy were suggesting that indeed Manchester City were closing in on a deal. So a bit contradicting. I've dealt with Italian sources before. They're extremely contradicting and extremely confusing, I think, to say the least. But at the moment in time, situation is, if Danilo doesn't leave, then Manchester City aren't signing Cancelo. It's pretty much as simple as that. Dani Alves won't be signing either as long as Danilo does stay. And at this moment in time, it looks like he will be staying, competing with Manchester City's squad at pre-season. It looks like he's going nowhere, at least for this moment in time. So we're going to move on to the next player that City are closing in on, and it comes in the form of Thiago Almada. City are pushing really hard to try and bring this player in from Velez Sarsfield over in Argentina. Now, City have had over the last week representatives over in Buenos Aires in Argentina to try and complete this deal for the youngster. His agent has been over in Manchester, had a picture with Pep Guardiola, posted it on his Instagram, I think it was, to which he's now deleted, and he's flown back to Buenos Aires as City try and thrash out a deal. City don't apparently want to go as high as his release clause of €16 million, hence the hold up on the deal, according to Sports Witness, that is. And apparently, Velez Sarsfield want to put Thiago Almada on a new deal to get his release clause up to €25 million to try and get a little bit more money out of Manchester City. City, of course, trying to work on a deal, bring him in, then apparently loan him for the next couple of seasons or so to Sporting Club de Portugal or Sporting Lisbon for at least one season, and look at potentially doing it for 2 seasons to see how he develops. He's one of the brightest young prospects coming in from South America, so we'll keep our eyes peeled on that potential transfer. Now, we're going to speak about another young player, Felix Correia. Now, VBet, who I've never heard of in my life, they've announced that he's signed for Manchester City. I'm expecting him to be officially announced as a Manchester City player as of when the Euro Under-19 Championships has been completed. Eric Garcia is currently out there with Spain as well, hence he's not in pre-season with Manchester City. So once that tournament has been done, he'll become a Manchester City player, and he'll either go into the academy or City will loan him out. I'm not too sure what they're going to be doing just yet. But some details of the deal, if you remember rightly, €3.5 million up front, another €3.5 million in a bonus, to which either Sporting Lisbon can get that, where if they want to go and sign a player and need some help financially towards that, or if they want to bring in a Manchester City player, City will then give them €3.5 million. So it's like a reserve, if you get what I mean. Like when they do some action, you get that other €3.5 million. So it's a €7 million deal. Duncan Castles was calling it a bonuses and add-ons. It's not. It's literally €3.5 million up front and €3.5 million that you get another time when you've completed these setting standards that City have put in place for Sporting Lisbon as part of the new partnership, where City get first dibs on their young players, and they get basically Man City's loan players, and City bring players in like Thiago Almada, who probably will head to Sporting Lisbon. And that's how we make things work. That's to help with financial fair play and help Manchester City bring in the top European talent from Sporting Lisbon's extremely good youth academy. Now we're going to move on to the last player in the ins, and it comes in the form of Samuel Umtiti. Now, according to Le D Sport over in France, they're suggesting City are putting first plans in motion for City to try and bring in Samuel Umtiti from Barcelona, falling down the pecking order. Barcelona trying to raise some funds, trying to sell Coutinho, potentially trying to sell Dembele too. None of them deals have been confirmed yet as being sold. Of course, they've already brought in Antoine Griezmann. They're also trying to put in a deal in place to try and bring in Neymar. So they need to get some outgoings, and that might help Manchester City out with in terms of a centre-back, because Samuel Umtiti could well be made available. I've heard rumours of 50 to 60 million euro. Not too sure how true that is, but I'd imagine it'd be a little bit more expensive. France international. Apparently a little bit injury prone. He is a decent player though. He'd slot him well, you'd think, alongside Aymeric Laporte, also a French player. Doesn't get many French call-ups though, because the manager of France doesn't like him. That's Laporte, by the way, not Umtiti. But you'd expect him to be able to link up well. I just think he'd be an expensive player. We've gone down this option before and he turned out to be too expensive. If we're going to chase Umtiti for a lot of money, you'd think we'd have done it with Maguire, considering he was homegrown, because Mangala would need to leave first before we brought Umtiti in, just like Danilo needs to leave before we can bring Cancelo in. You thought we'd push ahead with Maguire, but Maguire seemingly set for Manchester United after forcing a move there, instead of trying to force through a move to Man City, which is what City wanted him to do to try and get the price down. Instead, he started doing it with Manchester United to try and force a move there. We won't be talking about that too much, but you know what, Harry Maguire, go and enjoy Manchester United. If you want that move so much, we'll stick with our squad, because I can guarantee right now we'll be finishing over Manchester United once again next season, whether we bring in a centre-back or a right-back or not, because, to be honest, they're absolutely miles away. There we go. We'll move on to the outs now, and we'll be speaking about Manu Garcia. Now, sources in Spain were saying that he was set to sign for Sporting Gijon. It's pronounced Gijon, by the way, but it's spelled Gijon, G-I-J-O-N, but it's Gijon, over in Spain on a season-long loan. However, turned out that weren't accurate. Going to Sporting Gijon was accurate, but it turns out it was a permanent deal. Not too sure on the fee just yet, but he signed a 5-year deal with Sporting Gijon, so best of luck to Manu Garcia on his move there. Now, we've got an update on Nicolas Otamendi. Several sources were saying that Nicolas Otamendi was keen on a move to Valencia, even in this window too. City will only sell if his value is met. I don't know what his value is, but to me, I'd accept maybe around 25, 30 million pound. I was thinking maybe a 20 odd million pound, just above 20 million pound with some good add-ons. I'd probably accept too. So I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. What would you accept as a good deal for Nicolas Otamendi? Now we'll move on to a deal that wasn't so good in my opinion, and that was for Fabian Delph. Daily Mail reported it was an £8.5 million fee up front and £1.5 million in add-on, so it made it a £10 million deal overall for Fabian Delph to go and join Everton. Didn't affect Man City's homegrown status, with Angelino already being brought in because he is homegrown, so Delph was free to leave. He had his medical last week, was expected to sign on the Monday, and on the 15th of July he did indeed sign for Everton on a 3-year deal. £10 million, I feel like we could have got maybe 15, closer to £20 million, but there we go, that's just my opinion. But I'd say best of luck to Fabian Delph, absolutely influential in the 2017-18 season for Manchester City. Great at left back, great slotting in when he was needed, and a great influence on the dressing room. His efforts will always be appreciated by everyone at Manchester City and all of the fans, and would like to thank him for all of the memories and wish him all the best in the future in his time and move at Everton. So everyone, leave your well wishes in the comments below. Best of luck to Fabian Delph. Now, sources close to Aston Villa, they've claimed that a work permit has now been approved for Douglas Luiz to leave Manchester City to go and join Aston Villa. £15 million move. Of course, that is the promise that he'll be having regular playing time, something City couldn't guarantee him. Hence, he can get the work permit, or Villa are confident can get it approved before he ends up joining Villa. That deal will be pending a work permit, and that'll have to be agreed before he does sign the contract, and it is announced. So if there's any hold up in that, that is probably what it will be. But we're expecting to leave City for £15 million, Douglas Luiz, and for there to be a buyback clause, which I've been speaking to some Villa fans about, and apparently not too happy with the buyback clause because they feel like a little bit of a puppet to Manchester City. But that's just the way it works. City's got a world-class youngster here that City could easily just keep and loan out until he develops well. Instead, you end up getting a class player. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it does not. That's the whole thing with signing potential upcoming good talent. That's just how the business is, basically. Now, we've got an update on Eliaquim Mangala. Daily Mail is saying that he's free to leave for free. So no fee involved whatsoever. So no profit for Manchester City to be made. Only a loss here. We've been paying his wages since he signed his one-year contract extension a few months ago. Why we did that, I do not know. Really confusing at the time, and it's even more confusing now. We've literally wasted our own money, we've wasted our own time, and we've wasted Mangala's time too, because he could have been released and found a new club by now. Instead, his wage demands will be too high. He'll be happy to earn a good wage packet at Manchester City for another season. He's not bothered. Why would he be? It's strange, and City just desperate to try and sell, and it seems there's just no interest there. What a mess. Complete mess. There we go. We'll move on to the next player now. City young player Noah Ohio. He's left Manchester City, he confirmed on his Twitter account. 16-year-old. He's been at Manchester City since he was 12. Good luck to Noah in all of the future that does hold for him. Another youngster that's left Manchester City is Paolo Fernandes. He's joined Serie B side AC Perugia Calcio on a season-long loan, so I'd say good luck to Paolo on his year-long loan in Italy. And another youngster that's left Manchester City, this time on a permanent deal, is Taylor Richards, the 18-year-old academy player who is now signed for Brighton and Hove Albion. That is a £1 million upfront fee. However, the whole deal with add-ons is rising to roughly just over £2.5 million. Now we'll move on to another young player that City are trying to loan out. Comes in the form of Tosin Adarabioyo. Spent last season on loan at West Brom, didn't really work out. Well, according to the Lancashire Telegraph, Blackburn are now chasing his signature on a season-long loan. And to be honest, I'm surprised there's not more interest from Championship clubs and more EFL clubs, if I'm honest. He's a good, solid option, good passer of the ball, got a good head on him. He's a good, physical, tall player. I think he'd do really well in the EFL, and I'm surprised there isn't much interest. Like I said, it didn't really work out at West Brom. There was lots of competition for places. Didn't have a bad loan, though. He's a decent player, and I'm just surprised not more clubs going after him. But if he does end up at Blackburn, then he does. So still a decent move over to Ewood Park, and not too far away from Manchester, so won't have to relocate either. Now, last but not least in the news, it comes in the form of Philippe Sandler. Now, sources in Belgium had said that he had signed for Anderlecht. I was waiting for official confirmation just a few days ago. That official confirmation came in. He has signed for Anderlecht on a season-long loan to go and join up with Vincent Kompany. So best of luck to Philippe Sandler. Hope you go and have a great loan spell in Belgium. So there we go. That's been the video. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe. If you're new around here, press the red button, subscribe, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. We've got a big aim from now until the end of the transfer window to see if we can hit 5,000 subscribers. We're surpassed 4,300 subscribers. So let's see if we can get the final push, get the extra 700 subscribers, and see if we can hit 5,000. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. You're enjoying the content and you want daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout all the rest of the 2019 summer transfer window, make sure you subscribe, press the bell, put your push notifications on. You can go check out my social media links, my Twitter and Instagram in description below and popping up on screen. If you want to go and check out my Twitter, stay up to date with everything happening with Manchester City transfer news. I retweet sources and tweet about Manchester City. Go and follow me on there and my Instagram if you so wish. You want to go and check out what's happening with me, JSGC, in the form of pictures. And also make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all again for the next video tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update, keeping you in the loop with all things City news first and fast. So I'll see you then. So it's been JSGC. Hope you'll have a wonderful rest of your day. It's nice to be back. Peace. Ciao for now.